Blog Talk Radio.
Following ingredients include a look behind the scenes. Cook uncovered until hot. Add grooves to taste.
I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl.
The accident was over a year ago. A second woman has been elected president. The 12th planet has been named in the solar system. The last wild polar bear has died. I slept through it all. I was here for my waking. He called it a beginning. He said it was good. I think he may have thought that anything I did was good.
Welcome to Transition Radio with your host, Angelo. The show for trans folks by trans folks, here to let your voice be heard.
Well, hello and good evening, and welcome to Transition Radio, live from the land of enchantment, Silver City, New Mexico. My name's Angelo. I'll be your host. And I wanted to take a moment to thank our sponsor, thebreastfilmstore.com. They have everything you can imagine to enhance your feminizing needs. And the amazing Dr. Vartan Madirosian, a facial feminization specialist based out of Jupiter, Florida. Please visit our website and click on their banners and tell them Transition Radio sent you. And also, don't forget Katie Leon, one of our advertisers. She has amazing books and continues to write time and time again. Click on those banners to buy her books from Amazon. And also, please support Transition Radio by clicking the donate button. No small amount is too small. In fact, if you donate, you will get a gift. There's going to be a breakdown page there. It says the gift that you'll receive, and I'll kind of give you a quick rundown. $5 will give you an MP3 of choice. Have many, many songs. You could go to YouTube on Mark's Original, whatever song you like. Let me know, and I will send you a personal email with that MP3. $10 will get you an ebook of my biography, The Mirror Makes No Sense, or any of my health books, which I have many. I will continue to write and sharing my systems. I've helped many, many people throughout the world. I own my own gym for 11 years. I know how to change bodies. $50 will give you a one-on-one Skype consultation from me, life coaching or fitness guidance or anything that you want to talk about or do. For $50, you get 45 minutes with me on Skype. On me too, I guess. Anyway, $100 will get to mention on the shows, and you'll receive a signed autograph CD, Enslaved, 16 amazing tracks, your choice of any of my ebooks, and as well as a Skype consult for an hour. That's $100. Reoccurring monthly donations will continue to receive gifts, and a percentage of the proceeds will go to a different LGBT organization or a fund for an SRS surgery from any of our brothers or sisters that you wanted to choose. And speaking of please, remember to chip to Tom Moore's GoFundMe account. It's on the actual landing page of the website. So when you go to www.transitionradio.net, you scroll down, and his GoFund is there. Also, check out the new FDM Magazine edition. Became an affiliate with that magazine. Great articles, beautiful-looking trans guys, handsome, I might say. Check them out. I wanted to take this time now to say goodbye to a friend who I knew via email, Facebook, and actually spoke to him on the phone. We even had him on our radio show almost a year ago. His name is Luis Ramirez. He passed away, I believe it was Saturday or Friday of last week. It should be September 20th or the 19th, according to the reports that I've been reading. It also said that he died of natural causes. Luis, I think, was 34, 35. When he did the show, he was 34, so he was probably near 35 now. I know he battled with a lot of health issues. We spoke a lot regarding that, regarding back pain that he had. He suffered from depression. You know, like many of us who are trans, we have major crosses to bear. What's really, really sad is that we're seeing many more trans individuals, you know, who are actually falling sick. And just recently, and I have to pull up his name here. Give me 1 second. He's a friend of mine on Facebook, and somebody had actually given me the information. He's still alive, and he's been on life support, and I don't know the exact information if he's actually, out of life support. They tried pulling him out, but they couldn't. Gosh, I can't even pull this up now because this thing's in the way. Anyway, if you, any of you, and I had it written down here, but I don't know, my computer took a little dive, and I had to establish the document for today's show, and it didn't show up. But gosh, his picture is on the actual. Oh, here it is. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Bear with me 1 second. But I know that it's really scary because we're seeing more and more trans guys actually falling sick, dying. I'm kind of wondering, does it have anything to do with hormones? Does it have anything to do with the fact that many of us go on hormones and we're not exactly the picture of health before we do so? And rightfully so. Many of us have been depressed, we overate, we didn't exercise, maybe drank a little bit more than needed to, and all these health issues become exacerbated when you are on hormones, and that is definitely something that worries me, and I'm sure it worries a lot of you guys as well. Let me try to find the information here. Tom Moore had emailed me the information. Oh, Carolyn Logan is his name, and he also had a lot of health issues, and he's in California. He went to have some sort of surgery. I was not aware what kind of surgery he was actually having, but it was complication with the surgery. They induced the coma. He has some sort of really bad infection going on. And again, it's like we want to transition at all costs. We don't realize that our health is part of that cost. And I know that gender dysphoria is a terrible thing to live with. But dying, I believe, is worse. Or even worse, living with major diseases due to maybe complications from our surgeries or even complications from our hormonal use. I've actually cycled off hormones twice. This will be my third time. I'm decreasing my dose, and I'm thinking about going off of it, probably for good. I know that we need some sort of hormones to keep our system healthy, so I'm planning to take things like maca powder and just natural over-the-counter herbal stuff. And here in Silver City, there's an herb shop. They actually, specialize in a lot of stuff like that. So I'm going to give it a go. I'm 50 years old. There's stroke and heart problems in my mother's side of the family. My father's side of the family is pretty strong. And great-granddad died of 113. Hopefully I have his genes. But, once you transition and once you remove your ovaries, fallopian tubes, and, uterus and all that stuff, do we really need to continue to take these aggressive treatments of hormones, and especially synthetic? For a while there, I was taking bioidentical, and then it became kind of hard to find that, and the pharmacy that I would get it would say that they weren't allowed to do it because of some sort of mandate or whatever. The laws are getting funny. God only knows what goes inside these actual hormones. We don't know. We really have no clue what's going in there, and these pharmaceutical companies really don't care. I know a lot of you think, that doctors care and pharmaceutical companies care, but all it is all about the profit, a mighty dollar. And that, my friends, you could go to the bank and bet on it, because if you think about it, how many years have we tried to combat cancer, all sorts of diseases? There's never any cure. No matter how much money they collect, how many telephone marathons, all these things that they do to collect money for research and for finding cures. If they find a cure, they're going to stick it in a vault somewhere and never to be found and shoot the person who invented the cure. Because, cures, there's no money in cures. There's only money in treatment. Radiation, even the AIDS virus, when it first came out, it killed a ton of people. Now hardly anybody's dying. Why? Because they have all these cocktails that they created, so they keep them alive. You got to wonder, was this actually created by the green monkey in Africa, or was this created in a laboratory dish somewhere from some mad scientist who knew that had people by the balls, no pun intended? I know that it's a cynical way of thinking, but when you do the research that I've done, when you've worked for the medical community like I have, and you see what is actually behind the curtain, you raise a lot of questions, and you're not finding those answers, and the answers that you're finding is kind of very disheartening and scary. Anyway, let's shift here a little bit. It's kind of depressing. I know that some of us are saying, well, you know what, I'm going to take hormones no matter what, and hopefully you never have to deal with it no matter what, because your family members have to suffer if you die. If you don't die and you stay alive, but you are like this individual's in the hospital now with a coma and family suffering, and God knows, after you come out of coma, you never are guaranteed that you're going to be the same. And then if you already have issues, then you're adding insult to injury. So I hope you guys, this needs to be a topic of discussion. It needs to be a topic of discussion with our doctors. It needs to be a topic of discussion amongst each other. We need to be real with one another. We need to be open and not just close our minds and just have tunnel vision, because that's not going to get us anywhere. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a safer way to do what we're doing, better monitoring, better hormones, or better quality of hormones that are going to be less devastating to our health. Even bodybuilders cycle off their steroids. When you're a trans woman or a trans man, you're on these things pretty much for life, because no one tells you otherwise. I mean, I took it upon myself to cycle off, because I know that receptors become saturated. And once a receptor becomes saturated, you're dealing with a lot of issues that are going to take place, because the saturation of a cell can make that cell cancerous. The saturation of the receptors can make the receptor stop communicating and create faulty receptors, which creates problems with your neurological system, with your cardiovascular system, with your mental system, you name it. I mean, look at all these antidepressant medications that have out there. One of the major side effects is suicide. So here you are, an individual who's depressed, and you're given these pills for depression. Well, these pills, the side effect is it's going to make you want to commit suicide or become even more depressed or angry. So I don't get it. I really don't understand how people aren't questioning what they're putting in their body. Why aren't they questioning the doctors when they prescribe things? Why aren't we raising questions for the big pharma? I know it's like battling a big giant, just like Monsanto with the pesticides and GMOs. I mean, we're battling giants here, but folks, there's more of us than there are of them. So if we got it together and we started uniting and we started questioning, it's like other countries, they won't sell GMO stuff. Why? Because they got together and say, no, we're not going to take it. But we Americans are so into our football and our melodramas and our Dancing with the Stars and everything else, and we're too tired from working 40, 50 hours a week that we just probably don't have the energy to care. I don't know. I just know that something needs to be done, and it needs to be done quickly, because just too many deaths, too many sickness, and people are just getting more and more overweight. They're more and more dependent on pills, and they're not getting any healthier. On the contrary. Let's talk a little bit about relationships. What are the pros and the cons? At any time, please join in. Call at 646-716-6895. Again, that's 646-716-6895. If anybody wants to call in to say anything regarding Reese, please do. I know that he was loved and cared about many, many people, and I would love to hear your voices talking about a great brother who is watching over us now in a better place. Anyway, relationships, pros and cons. The pros are that, you get to have somebody with you when you grocery shop. You get to have somebody to cuddle with at night. You get to have somebody to share your good times and your bad times with, someone to coast life with you. Because, human beings, we are social beings. And obviously we were intended to have a relationship, or be in a couple. Be a couple, that kind of thing. However, I'm finding that as I get older, there's a lot more cons in relationships than pros. And trust me, I've had many relationships. And many of you probably say, yes, Mark, you've had too many relationships. What's up with that? Well, I guess I'm trying to find Mr. or Mrs. Right. You know, not to say that the people I've been with, there was anything wrong with them per se. Everybody has their way, and, you know, I'm not here to badger anybody. I loved all the women in my life, trans women, genetic women, or cis women. I don't want to offend anybody here. Cis women. I never really had a relationship with a man yet. I would like to, since I haven't had great luck with females of whatever, cis or trans. So I guess my next step is to have or try to go with a cis guy or an FTM or, you know, bisexual, gay, pansexual dude of some sort. Somebody that, you know, I could ride that magic carpet with and grow young or grow old together. What I've noticed is there's a lot of issues that come with being in a relationship. You know, people are at a different evolution in life. Not that I'm judging it, because we're all in a different place, and that's all good. If we're all the same, it would be a boring world. But I guess I'm finding the need as I get older to not settle anymore and to actually find that right person in my life that's going to be loving, accepting, nourishing, self-sufficient in a big way, because, you know, that's important to me now. I guess it wasn't before, but now it is, because as I get older and I know that, I don't know, I'm 50 now, how many more working years do I have? Maybe 15, 20. I just want somebody who's really got their act together in various ways. Somebody that's extremely diligent, intelligent, that has, I don't want same OCD, this would drive each other crazy, but that is able to put things away and know how things go, or at least know how I like things, and then I know how they like things, and vice versa. But, it's hard. It's not an easy thing. If relationships were easy, everyone would have one, and no one would have to break up. Let's talk a little bit about the best form of self-help. We know there's plenty of books out there that tells you how to do this, how to do that, how to stop smoking, how to quit being an overeater, how to stop drinking alcohol. Many of us join groups to help with these situations. The famous AAA, Alcoholic Anonymous, is it 2 A's or 3 A's? Triple A's is nothing that picks up your car. I never know. Anyway, to me, the best form of self-help is meditation, is finding that inner guidance within you, because nobody knows you better than you. You could go pay $150 to some psychologist, psychiatrist, pop some pills, that's not going to help you, folks. I think many of us that have been through that know too well that therapy, I don't know, back in the day, psychology was considered not even a science, not even purely medical. It was just like poof, they weren't really respected. And nowadays, everything has changed, and not to put down therapy, not to put down, a therapist in any way, but I truly believe that a person has the ability to tap in within themselves and find the right solution for them. And we stop going outside of us for all these solutions and stop really believing in self, really and truly believing in who you are, and that nobody knows you better than you. How can anybody know you better than you? I mean, I've never understood that. You go to a doctor to try to find out what's wrong with me. Hey, doc, fix me. No, you need to fix yourself. You need to find what is it that sets you off balance. Because in reality, all disease is your body is out of balance. That's what disease is, out of balance. Homeostasis is gone. So what got you there in the first place? Was it eating too many donuts? Was it sitting around all day and not exercising? Was it not eating enough greens and your body's so acidic that now you've got cancer and all sorts of neurological problems and everything that you could possibly imagine? I know it's hard to blame ourselves. It's easier to blame everything outside of us. But folks, we are the master of our universe. We are responsible for our well-being, our health, our happiness. Everything else is BS. We have been taught to believe that everything that we need is outside of us, when in reality, everything that we need is within. Diseases basically stem from what you're putting in your body. Remember, every little cell in your body reacts to what you put in it. And that includes stress. That includes being unhappy. So, some of you might say, well, damn, I'm unhappy because this, that, and the other. My gender's not matching. I don't make 6 figures and blah, 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 whatever reasoning you might have behind being unhappy. Well, what are you doing to change that? And why should you care what other people think about you? Do they pay your bills? Yes, I know it's not nice to be made fun of. I know it's not nice when people give us dirty looks. I know that none of that stuff is nice. But what do you care? My famous saying is, shit or get off the pot or grow some. I'm sorry. I'm being very, blunt, but what better way to deal with life than to have the proper tools, to have the proper manual to know how to deal with the outside world? If you're going to transition, you're going to deal with a lot of stuff. So if you're not prepared to deal with all this stuff, I highly suggest you do not transition. And for all of you gender specialists out there that are listening to me, you need to really prepare your clients a little bit better, your patients a little bit better for the real world, for what takes on. We're going to make fun of. People are going to say all sorts of stuff. They might even want to get violent. We need to know how to disempower the situation, appease it, instead of adding fuel to that fire. There are many kinds of headaches. I'm jumping from one subject to the other, but I have all these bullet points and trying to cover all these different things within the 30-minute time. There's pressure headaches, there are chemical headaches, there's sinus headaches, there are migraine headaches, all stemming from different type of chemical releases in your head. The sinus headache is most people take in too much dairy. You shouldn't take any dairy in at all because dairy is very mucus forming, and the only thing that should be drinking cow's milk is the calf. We're meant to drink our mommy's milk from our mommy's breast, not from some cow. And this is why there are so many diseases as well, because from the time we're little, we are given the wrong food, all this sugar, all this dairy, and we expect to thrive and be healthy adults. Impossible. Anyway, these different kind of headaches, you've got to treat them differently. And I will go into more detail of that if you all are interested in some other shows. I need to have some feedback on what you guys want me to talk about. Self-hatred. Why do we hate ourselves? Are we programmed to hate ourselves from the time we're little? The way our parents treat us, if we don't act the way they want us to act. They love us, we're conditioned. Many do. Many parents don't. Many parents are very loving and accepting. But a lot of parents really create the background for all this self-hatred that we have as we grow up. So I suggest, if you're going to be a parent, start learning how to be better parents, because you're going to create messed up adults who are going to hate themselves and they're going to have a hard time in this world. Politics, how effective is it, and who is really in charge? I know all of you sit there and go, oh, I'm a Democratic, or I'm a Republican, or I'm independent, or this, that, and the other. Do we realize that all the wings belong to the same bird? I'm just kind of basically touching on some of these topics. We've got 6 minutes left of the show, but I really want to see what resonates with you guys, and I want you guys to write me an email to transitionradioshow@gmail.com and let me know what you want me to really focus on. More health issues, more of this new world order, politics, the stuff that's going on in this world, self-help, nutrition guidance. Ask me questions, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. You could also call in, at 646-716-6895 and create conversation. I want to really create a group of individuals calling in, maybe even a panel, so we could all discuss our different views, so it's not just my views, and we could have a panel and then have people call in, and different panels could answer the questions. Consumerism. That is what's ruining our world, folks. Jobs are being outsourced to other countries. They are just producing and more producing. Things are no longer fixed. Something breaks, you throw it away, you go and buy another one. Computers' average lifespan now, I guess, is like 3 years, and they just start not acting the way they should, like mine is. I need a computer badly, and I keep having problems with it, but, I'm unemployed and try to find ways where I could upgrade my computer so I could bring you better shows on the TV show and also on the radio show. Well, guys, stay tuned this Thursday. I got Bobby Thompson, Alana's spouse. She's going to be talking about her book, which is something, it's a very long title. My wife looks better than I do in a dress or something of that nature, but stay tuned Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for that particular segment or episode. You're welcome to call in, and all that information is always placed on the screen. And I think the live option might be taken away. The network producer are talking about that, so because we're not getting as much interaction live, and most people watch the show on demand anyway. So that's the talk that we're having there regarding that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Again, any questions, please email me to transitionradioshow@gmail.com. Please start interacting. This is an amazing tool in education. People listen to this show all over the world, so your input is highly, highly, needed and wanted. I don't just want my views. I want the views of others, even though we may not agree. That's okay. I'm a good host. I will never, ever make you look bad. I will never, ever have an argument. It's discussion. It's something that is healthy for us to do. And I notice that is something that's very hard in the trans community to do, have civil discussions, because they're angry, they're upset, and they're just to the point where their health is going south. And we need to stop this, because we need to stop losing more brothers and sisters for whatever reason, whether it's the hormones, whether it's the anger, whether it's suicide, whatever it is, we need to stop. And we also need to do something to prevent the hate crimes. We need to be a little more proactive, less reactive, and I believe we could change the way people look at things and change. Anyway, I'm leaving you with one of my original, and this is an old one. Changes are coming. I'm pulling up a lot of my old acoustic music and sharing it with you. If you guys have any music that you want to share, and it's copyright free, because all these online things go crazy with the copyright stuff, please email to me, and I will very gladly share your music on air at the end of the show. Well, guys, I love you. But remember to always love yourselves, too. Changes are coming. Good night.
In the mirror and search for the truth. Changes are coming that will affect you. You can no longer hide. You must face the truth in time. The voices that you hear is your conscience loud and clear. You can no longer hide. You must face the truth ooh, ooh.